What's going on, everybody? Drewski's video hole here. I figured I'd do like a video just in the most best way I feel comfortable. I mean, what else do I need? I got my chapstick, I got this bottle cap, I got my phone, I got my W2, I got my bottle of water, I got my mic, I got my headset, so whatever. It's gonna be fine. Thought I'd give you guys a bit of an insight on one of my favorite pastimes, Dungeons and Dragons. Ooh, Dungeons and Dragons. Big thing. Dungeons and Dragons. So, one of the things, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, alright? One of the things that I notice about new DMs is that they have trouble. They have a lot of trouble. And their work really sucks, and I hate it. This is of no surprise, of course, to anyone, because, I mean, when you're new at something, you're really bad at it. So I hope that these little sort of musings onto the ways of dungeon masterying may prove useful to anybody who is a new DM and is hopefully seeking in the future to be a DM, because the world needs more DMs. I have a strong belief in this, and it's good to be a DM because it's a very good exercise, and I think actually it builds some really good life skills. And if you're good enough with words, you can even find a way to maybe put it on a resume. Of course, don't put that you play Dungeons and Dragons, because they probably won't hire you because they'll think you're a loser, which is true. Only losers play D&D. I'm of course kidding. Or am I? I mean, I will admit that I'm a loser, and, well, here I am, as happy as a clam. Alright, so, being a DM, starting out, I am not gonna like start from any bottom perspective and then go up or whatever. I don't really care about that. What I want to talk to you about right now is something called it's a dichotomy between two things called clarity and quality, and it's something that I notice a lot of DMs struggle with, especially on these like newfangled virtual tabletop little thingamawhatsits, because when you have all these cool tools, you kind of lose yourself. You know what I mean? You start posting shit like like this. You start posting that shit, and then you start using things like this, and you start using things like this, and it's not. I mean, having all these options, being able to just like drag any PNG wherever you fuck you want is a good thing to have. Of course, it makes life very easy for your resident DM who's just starting out. But you kind of get lost in the sauce a bit, because one thing you gotta understand about D&D is that it's not real.
What?
It's happening in your head. I don't know if any of you realize this, but it takes a lot of, how should I say, not prose. I don't think you have to be necessarily like William Shakespeare in order to do it correctly, but it takes a lot of attention to detail. And detail is very important in D&D, because if you read the DMG for the latest edition, one of the things that it will tell you is that you have to be as clear and concise in your descriptions as possible. And that is oh so very important, and I cannot tell you enough about how important that is. It's so very important. So, as to make a sort of like a long story fairly short, because again, I'm not gonna like really drag these out to be like some crazy fucking 10-minute ramblings about bullshit that I really don't care about. One thing that you need to know about quality and clarity is that one is arguably more important than the other, and if you can sort of surmise what I'm trying to get at here, clarity is just so much more important than quality, alright? So, I mean, I'll give you sort of an example. I don't mean to call this guy out, but he knows that he can do better, and he knows the criticisms I've given to him. Now, whether or not he's willing to take those criticisms, because they are good criticisms, is up to him, but let's just say that he's got a lot of work to do, and he shouldn't quit his day job. This, this right here, this thing that I'm pointing at, I would rather have this than this. It's just a fact, you know what I mean? Now, this is obviously like a lot more, rudimentary and down to earth and to the real roots of D&D as a game. But the thing about this that is better than this is, well, there's a lot. For instance, this is just 100% more clear. It's so much more easier to understand, and you don't have to worry about things like resolution, worrying about things stretching, overstretching, grids not lining up. You don't need to worry about any of that bullshit. You know what I mean? Each square is 5 feet. You know, you can click and drag a little prefab in there. I'll probably snap to it. I'm talking about Roll 20 mainly. With this, you kind of have to line up things and, you know, make sure that pixels are just right, and you've got to find out if your resolution is just right for your fucking computer screen. No. Here's what you need. You need to make sure that your players know what's going on, know where they are, and know where they can move. And, well, I mean, that's all there is to say to it. I mean, that's all there is, really. I mean, in D&D, the way I DM, at least, is I'm very description heavy. I'm very detail oriented, and I love continuity. So when I see shit like this, it's just, oh my god, it makes me wonder why I even woke up in the morning. You know what I mean? It makes me wonder why I don't just, like, you know, eat a 22 caliber sandwich. You know what I'm saying? It's really problematic, and you should know better. And I hate everybody who does this. Well, you know, I'm kidding, because I did that once. Starting out as a DM, it's not an easy job. You need to know what you're doing. But, well, now hopefully you know, and you won't make the same mistakes I did, and the same mistakes that some of my other friends are still doing. So, to be clear, because clarity is important, quality, having brilliant art prefabs is cool, and it's awesome, but clarity, so much more important. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. Stick around for more videos. I'm going to post more on my video hole about the things I like. For instance, Dungeons & Dragons. And you'll be hearing more DM musings from me also. Thank you so much.